Today we're going to be talking about our continuing conversation, and it's all about Shell Helix HX7 and HX8 with flexi molecule technology. Everyone feels like they know a little bit more about quality motor oil and the importance of investing in quality motor oil. Today we've got trivia. We've got a chance for you to win. As always, there is cash up for grabs. And of course, we've been asking, when was the last time you discussed motor oils with your mech? Do you just leave the car there if at all you take it for service and let him do what he does? If your mechanic has to keep trying to convince you about the benefits of motor oil, your car is definitely not performing at its best. Yes, we're going to be learning more from Big Boy Trev. Do follow and use the hashtag SpiceDrive with Shell _Kenya, SpiceFM KE, and of course Car Culture and Traystix F1. A warm welcome to you. Today we're touching a very interesting subject, still on quality motor oil. That's Shell Helix HX7 and HX8. Let's get in there.
So on our continuing series of knowing your motor oil, this brand new products by Shell, the HX7 and HX8 with flexi molecule technology, have different applications. Yesterday we were talking about the consumer benefits. Today it's what kind of vehicles do require this particular product. So I'm going to start with HX8, which is ideally for vehicles that are under 8 years old. So what type of vehicle do you reckon should be using this particular oil? And the first thing that I normally say is, whenever you're importing a car, you've bought a brand new car, you desire an oil that will protect it. And remember, as these years go by, manufacturers are now still trying to reduce the engine sizes and still maintain power due to emissions, due to many laws that are happening across the world. That means the stress in as far as designing an engine that will give you high output in a small engine capacity means they need to use high strength alloys, they need to use turbochargers. And right now on our roads, we do have these cars. So, for example, if you're buying a German machine, I am sure if you've driven a 3 Series or a Mercedes C-Class or an Audi A4, one of them is probably turbocharged. All right? And the reason why they turbocharge, and remember, these models never used to have turbochargers before. This new generation of models are now using turbochargers to deliver that power in a small engine capacity. Now, these turbochargers, they have new technology called variable geometry turbo. Basically, variable geometry turbo means it is able to flex the pressure within delivering into the inlet manifold of the vehicle based on how you step on the gas. So, say, for example, you're driving on Mombasa Road and you're probably doing, 30 kilometers an hour in traffic, and then all of a sudden the road opens up and you floor it.
Right.
All right? You expect instantaneous response from your engine. Okay? So, at 30, 40 kilometers an hour, the engine is probably, operating at a temperature of 120 degrees, which is pretty hot, all right? But it's standard. That is how a vehicle should operate. But when you gun down the engine and you push it and you step on the gas, the temperatures rise because the turbo is working hard to deliver that power. Now, the temperature at the core of the turbo reaches all the way to 450 degrees to 500 degrees. Okay, and obviously a turbo needs lubrication because it's a moving part. Now, the oil that is running in the engine is the same one that will run and cool the turbo. And you need an oil that will have the same properties at the same time, cooling at 120 degrees and cooling the turbo at 450 degrees. Now, normal standards currently, oils cannot be able to handle that and still have the same consistency and protection. That's why Shell introduced the HX8, which is, a revolutionary product that will allow the engine to still have close to 40% wear and tear protection, 58% temperature deposit control, and of course, corrosion resistant at 78%.
Nice. I love the way you broke down the new generation vehicles and you listed some of them.
Yes.
In the next hour, we're going to be talking about the HX7 and the cars that require HX7 with flexi molecule technology. You've mentioned smaller engine capacity. Things are changing. You have to adapt and you want to make sure that your car is performing. Run us through those models again.
Yes, so for the new generation of cars, if you're looking towards Germany, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, they all have now turbochargers. So the Audi A4, which is very popular, Audi A3, you have the Volkswagen Jetta, you have the Mercedes-Benz C and E-Class, especially those who do the E250 version, they're all turbocharged 2 liters. All right. And previously they were 4-cylinder non-turbos, or they were 6-cylinder with the V6. But now, because of engine capacity and reduction in terms of emissions, they've all been scaled down so that they have a small engine capacity, they don't emit more carbon dioxide into the environment, and still give you the power that the previous generation had. So again, so E-Class, C-Class. Audi as well, A4, you have the A3, and even some A6s do have a 2-liter, which is very odd because those cars used to be on a 3.2-liter. Big engines back in the day. So now reduced engine capacity, more power, more efficiency.
Fantastic. And that's the HX8 with flexi-molecule technology.
Yes.
So today we're talking about the type of vehicles that require Shell Helix HX7 and the type of vehicles that require Shell Helix HX8 with flexi-molecule technology. It's been such an amazing class, and everybody has been attending, and they've been doing this without fail. So if you didn't get a chance to win in the previous sessions, then you just might win today. Stick around. Motor oils lubricate engine parts which are in constant friction. It thus reduces friction, which tends to increase wear and tear of engine parts. The flexi molecules in Shell Helix HX7 and HX8 constantly adapt inside the engine to protect critical engine parts. The flexi molecules activate when high pressure and high temperature situations arise. Modern engines come with advanced technology that demands high performance in smaller engines, the turbochargers. So how does Shell Helix come in? Flexi molecules in Shell Helix HX7 and HX8 activate under high pressure to form a protective barrier on metal contacts, providing extra protection when most oil is squeezed out. Also, high temperatures to form protective barrier and oxidation control in turbocharged engines. We're going to be hearing more because we need to talk about HX8, HX7. Right?
Yes,
HX7.
HX7, yes.
Yeah, we talked about HX8. We're going to talk about HX7 with flexi-molecule technology and the cars, the vehicles that require this product.
Yes, so moving on to HX7. Now, this is an engine oil that has also been designed by Shell. It's got the flexi molecule technology. It's designed for vehicles that are above 8 years old. So basically any car that is on the road and it's past 8 years old, then this particular type of oil is suited for that. And the reason why this happens is 2 main things. Number one, the age of the engine means the vehicle has had significant wear and tear internally. So when I say internally, your pistons, your conrods, all those moving parts are sort of, edging out. There's something called shearing. Shearings happen when metal to metal surfaces scrub together. So those metal shearings and sludge that is forming within the oil galleries prevent oil from moving around and lubricating these surfaces. And because older vehicles were made of high tensile steel, they're not aluminium because of weight reduction. They are made of steel, and steel actually heats up to a certain level. There's also a level of oxidation within these particular internal combustion engines. So all that requires an oil that, one, is able to lubricate these surfaces regardless of the age. So meaning it will be able to move away all those particles of those iron shavings all the way to the sump, move them very easily, clean the gallery so that the oil moves very effectively within the engine. And of course, it will give you that added protection of oxidation, because oxidation is a big issue when it comes to older engines. That's why when the piston rings fail, then the oil gets in, then you have smoke in your exhaust. So all those things combined together require an oil that is very suitable for maintaining that particular engine and still be able to run optimally. All right. Now, these older vehicles, I want to give examples of these particular vehicles on our roads. Toyota is the most popular and common vehicle on our roads. So all those guys who have, AE91s, Toyota 100s, 110s, Nyoka, they call the Premium Nyoka. The older generation of Toyotas run extremely well with this particular lube. Nissan as well, very popular in our market. Again, very good vehicles that can run on this particular vehicle, and many others. Mazda, Peugeot. If you're somebody who's driving a Renault, if you're still driving an old German machine as well, you'll be able to get that same amount of protection for your older vehicle and still be able to maintain it very well because of HX7. Remember, it does protect 40% on wear and tear. It gives you that protection. So because that older engine has a lot of wear and tear, so that 40% comes in handy. You need it more than anything else. Temperature deposit control as well. It prevents sludge from clogging all those oil galleries that allow oil to move in the different surfaces. So making sure that the detergency of the oil is very good and removes the sludge. Then of course, you do have corrosion protection, which is high on these older engine vehicles. When you open up the engine and you see the roof of the combustion chamber, you see soot, you see sulfur, all those things that are now making the surface to corrode will now be able to be cleaned quite effectively with this HX7 Shell oil.
Fantastic. We're looking at these two, yes. HX8 and HX7 with flexi molecule technology, designed by Shell Helix. And seeing a lot of comments on social media. Some people are saying, open the phone lines so that we can give you the answer on phone. Anyway, Shell Helix HX7 and HX8 with flexi molecule technology has its benefits. 40% wear and tear protection in your engine, 58% temperature deposits control and viscosity, and 78% better corrosion protection. Today's question is coming right up, and if you get it correctly, it's important to get the hashtags right.
Yes.
It's Spice Drive with Shell.
Yes.
And that's Shell_Kenya. You get yourself 5K if you get the answer correctly. Traystix F1, and Trev.
Yes.
Make it easy for the people.
Well, it's like I said, it's not going to be too easy and not too hard. If you are attentive, you'll probably get it. So the question for today is, if you could answer this correctly, you win 5K.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell us the temperature range at which modern engines run and which type of Shell Helix product allows for this particular engine temperature to be maintained effectively without harming the performance of the car. If you know the answer, hit us up on our social media handles. Please do not forget Spice Drive with Shell, Shell_KE, myself and Monique, and tag SpiceFM for a chance to win. Again, the question is, what is the temperature range at which this variable geometry turbo works? If you know the answer, please let us know. And you never know, we could just pick a winner. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even phone lines. You never know. You may just decide to pick a phone call today. So try your luck. All the best.
All right, let's see how that goes. What temperature range do new engines with turbocharging operate in? All right. What temperature range do new engines with turbocharging operate in? The winner takes home 5K. You're a good man because you're going to be giving someone 5K. It's been an amazing ride on car culture right here on the Spice Drive with Shell Helix HX7 and HX8 with flexi molecule technology. We've looked at several conversations throughout this series, and now you know why you should be having this conversation about quality motor oil with your mech. This allows your car to adapt to driving conditions, different driving conditions, and reduce the risk of wear and tear. I want to shout out everyone who's been tuning in and learning more about how Shell Helix HX7 and HX8 with flexi molecule technology really works and how much you're saving by investing in a good quality motor oil. We have a winner to celebrate.
Yes, we have a winner today. The question was, what temperature range do new engines with turbocharging operate in? The answer was between 120 degrees and 450 degrees. And our winner today is a guy called Wayne Brown on Twitter. So you are lucky you've won 5,000 bob because you did put the hashtag Spice Drive with Shell, tagged Shell_KE, and tagged ourselves, myself and Monique, and you won. So congratulations. It's not over. It's not over, guys. Tomorrow we are back again. Please remember to follow the instructions.
Yes.
It's on all social media. We decide where and when. It's randomly picked. And all the best tomorrow.